Be sure to subscribe and click on the bell for notifications on future uploads. Hello everyone, Simon Bard here, or you can call me Sully. Well, it's New Year's Eve, meaning that we're at the end of Happy Sulli-Days for this year. And what better one to wrap up the year with than with a review of a classic, yet public domain Christmas cartoon. Released on November 11th, 1948, and being the first animated adaptation of the beloved reindeer with the big red nose. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The cartoon is the first animated adaptation of the story of the same name written by Robert L. May, which was first adapted into the classic holiday song by Johnny Marks, which was used for the cartoon's opening credits and ending. It's Christmas Eve and all the reindeer are having fun playing outside. But one reindeer, named Rudolph, is being mocked for having a red nose, and the other reindeer don't let him have any fun with them. And as soon as Rudolph went to bed, waiting for Santa's arrival, a big fog arrived that Christmas Eve night, and Santa and his reindeer are having trouble getting through it. But when Santa came to Rudolph's home, he asked the reindeer to join with him on his flight, for Rudolph's nose glowed bright that night. So Rudolph does join and help Santa deliver the gifts, making him loved by the other reindeer, and is given the honor of being Commander-in-Chief by Santa. While the classic Rankin Bass special from 1964 is the most well-known, and I too love it as much as everyone else, it's quite interesting that the original cartoon from 1948 is being overlooked as it was the first one to bring Rudolph to animated life. But that's not to say it's forgotten, as it's still remembered fondly. But with being in the public domain, it's quite odd how little everyone appreciates it. Okay, let me clear things up a bit. I do quite enjoy this cartoon, but I feel like it's being somewhat overshadowed by the more popular Rudolph adaptation, with some adaptations gaining a cult status. And sure, while this cartoon is getting recognition in other ways, it's not the same way when viewing it on its own. And my introduction to it was from the VHS of Disney sing-along songs, Very Merry Christmas songs, where clips from the cartoon are used for the Rudolph song by Gene Autry. Yet, once I watched the cartoon on its own, it's a simply decent one and quite different from the Rankin Bass version. But with that said, I do have a couple of issues with it, and they're mainly nitpicks. The biggest one of which is how the dialogue for the reindeer and Santa are recorded. Not because the lines are off or odd, but because they sound like they're not recorded in a recording booth and come off like it's recorded in an empty garage or stage. Another odd thing is that Rudolph's mother is the only reindeer with clothes on. On one hand, I do get why, and that she, Rudolph, and many other reindeer sometimes stand and sit like humans. But on the other hand, none of the other reindeers are wearing clothes. Even in a stadium full of them, it looks like a majority of the reindeer are male. Why is that? Is Rudolph's mother the only female in this? And even so, Rudolph mentions he has a mother and father, but the father is completely absent in this. Then again, it's only a cartoon at almost 9 minutes, and you can only take what is given. And what I got is enjoyable enough. There are plenty of cute moments in the cartoon, and Rudolph is among them. Though am I the only one who thought that he went feminine in the end? Because it sort of weirds me out. The gags for the cartoon are neat as well, occasionally chuckle-worthy, like Rudolph signing the words dear as dear. That's adorably funny. And the things Santa and his reindeer crash into or nearly hit during their flight through the fog before Rudolph joins them is kind of a fun one, such as a plane and a tree. Yet Santa did say to stay low in the fog, but from the looks of it, they seem to go higher. Also, I find it funny how there's Rudolph toys in Santa's sleigh before he sees and asks them to join. Like, how did this happen even before he became famous? It's kind of a silly inclusion. Now, I couldn't find out much about the voice cast of this cartoon, outside of Paul Wayne, who's the narrator of this, so I'll just wrap up the review. As a whole, this cartoon is lovely and kind of cute. The characters are fine, the story is nice, and the animation is pretty fine. Director Max Fleischer had done a pretty neat job of adapting the Robert L. May story into a nearly 9-minute short, and being all very simple and in rhyme as well. While I do have an occasional problem with it, they're mainly nitpicks, and aren't that bothersome to deal with. And as much as we all know and love the Rankin Bass special, and how unique and wonderful it is, the original cartoon from 1948 is a classic in itself, even for a public domain one. But overall, it's a fairly decent Christmas cartoon, and the first one to bring Rudolph to animation. So today, this cartoon will be given a rating of 3 stars. And that is it for Happy Sulli-Days. Thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook or Twitter, support my Patreon, and until next time for a new video, and have a Happy New Year.